So this is a photo comparing live sawn versus quarter sawn. The two photos on the left are when you quarter saw, and the photo on the right is when you just flat saw, also known as live sawn. When you quarter saw wood, the end grain is between 60 and 90 degrees to the face of the wood. The reason this is more desirable is because the wood is less prone to cupping, and the wood will also expand and contract less, so you won't get as much shrinkage during the drying process. Another benefit of quarter sawing is you get more figure, what is also known as ray fleck, on the face of the wood. Here's a photo of what it looks like. These lines are most pronounced in white oak and red oak, but can be seen in other types of wood as well. This last photo shows how I'll be milling the log. I'll start by taking the first cut off the top to make sure it'll fit between the blade and the mill when I cut through the middle. I'll make 2 more quarter sawn passes through the middle of the log. Once I remove those pieces, I'll take off the top half of the log, and with the other half of the log, I'll half it one more time, making it into quarters. Once the log is cut into quarters, I'll do 2 passes on one direction, and then I'll turn it 90 degrees and do 2 more passes. That'll give me 4 boards of quarter sawn lumber from each quarter. And then the last 2 photos just show how the log would be cut up with everything all together. And then the last picture shows how much usable lumber I'll get out of it. So I start off by measuring the center of the log to make sure they're the same height on both ends. So my first cut is to take a little bit off the top, so when I cut through the middle of the log, it'll fit between the blade and the top of the mill. Then I take a few quarter sawn pieces out of the middle of the log. Here I am measuring the centers again to make sure it's the same height on both ends. Again, I take a little bit off the top to make sure it'll fit, and then I cut through the middle. Now I take 1 quarter and rip a few quarter sawn boards off the top. So now I have a quarter of the log, and I start ripping a few quarter sawn pieces off. Now that that quarter is done, I bring back up the other half, measure the centers, and do the same thing. I go a little bit above halfway, and then I rip a few boards out of the middle. So here's just a close-up of the last quarter. I go high enough where I can get 2 boards out of the bottom, and then the top is just too small, so it's scrap. And that's how I cut quarter sawn lumber. Thanks for watching.